Hi guys, nothing fancy again. Thanks for tuning in as always. In this review I'm going to cover what I think is a very good survival knife, especially for the money, and that is the Rat 7. What a wicked knife this is. Love it. This is a combat slash survival, probably emphasis on survival in my opinion, i.e. a blade we can live in the woods with and do some heavy duty work with, as maybe some of my other videos have shown. Used to be put out by Ontario. Actually now I believe Rat is its own manufacturer of blades, so it's no longer affiliated with Ontario Knives if I'm not mistaken. And this is a Rat 7. I own several of them. The 7 is probably the best all around and best balanced knife that they have in their line. I think it compares very favorably with some other high-end survival knives, yes, including Swamp Rat and Busey, and also some cold steel offerings, I think. I haven't used this knife hard yet. Stay tuned for some videos on where I just might do that. Take it up in the woods, fire make and shelter make with it. I just might do that, and I'll give you a report on that if I do. Let's start off with the specifics on this Rat 7 blade. It is a lot of knife for the money. Specifically, you can get this knife online for $90 to $100. And like I said, comparing it against some very high-end offerings, all indication shows that it would stick up quite nicely for itself. Starting off first with a sheath, probably a ding on that. I'm not super fond of the sheath. I do prefer it over leather, like I've said in my other videos. I'd much rather have a nylon sheath than a leather sheath. But that being said, my favorite, and probably yours too, most y'all, is a Kydex Sheath. I think Kydex just rocks. Or plastic for that matter. I really don't care what it's made out of. Kydex, plastic, either one's fine. But this nylon offering is adequate. Some bad things about it is it's a lower grade nylon. You can always tell that because it has a very open weave on the binding. It is a ballistic nylon for the actual portion of the sheath, which is adequate, that's fine. However, the open weave webbing, kind of like they use here on the retention strap as well, it's going to fur up on you a lot, and it's going to take, you're going to have to take a lighter to it to keep it furred down. It's kind of a lower quality nylon, and yes, there are different qualities of nylon strap. They used a lower quality, at least on all the webbing on this, so a minor hit on that. It's configured for mostly a MOLLE attachment, which probably most of us won't use. If you're in the military, it will work nicely on your vest as you wind through. Let me caveat that, maybe not nicely, but it'll work adequately. The reason I say not nicely is that this is not a really stiff strap. Okay, in my opinion and in my experience, if you want a really nice MOLLE attachment, this strap has to have basically no give in it. That way when it butts up against that vest, it won't flex out like so. It's going to lock into that vest, stay locked in during a heavy activity, and that's what you want for any of your MOLLE gear, not just your knife. So it's adequate. We could probably do something to prevent it from doing that. I could probably mod it out somehow. And again, I don't have it threaded through a MOLLE vest, so I haven't really tested it yet. So it might do okay, but from just looking at it in my experience with some MOLLE attachments, it might fall short in that respect. And more importantly, it falls short in the respect that most users will use, and that is just a belt attachment. The only way you can belt attach it is slide it right here. You could somehow rig it, I guess, with a MOLLE, but that would be even worse. If I carry it on a belt, it will be right here. It's not a quick attach. It has no provisions for a tech lock attachment. You're kind of stuck with what you got. To make this knife sing, I would really like to see a Kydex sheath built for it. I may do so with my Rat 7 knives, and then those suckers are going to be really squared away. Another thing I don't exactly like about this sheath is the retention strap. As I pop it open, they did a good job in putting a pivot point here, but nevertheless, as I draw my blade out, you can see that that would rub right against my retention strap. And if your knife has any sharpness at all, it's probably a matter of time before that retention strap just goes bye-bye, or at the very least gets weakened and frayed to the point we're going to have to replace it. So you almost have to push it out of the way. Be careful you don't cut your fingers, and then draw the knife out. And that's only if we have time. Now the sheath does have a plastic insert in it, so that's fine. It's not a frictional plastic insert, meaning it doesn't grasp the blade. That's good and bad. It's good in that it minimizes wear on the blade, I guess, it's bad in that, like a lot of the Ontario survival knives, it does not lock it in. So if you don't have that retention strap on, don't turn it upside down. If you're talking to a friend or something, you better fasten it on up, because if you don't, and you don't think about it, and then you're like, oh, my knife is slipping, and you reach to grab it, you're going to cut your fingers bad. So in a way, a frictional insert would actually be better in my opinion. It's got a pocket stone, or pocket for a stone on the front, something I have never ever used, nor will I ever. I minimize the weight as much as possible on my knives. If I do carry a sharpening device with me in the backcountry, it's always going to be a rod of some sort, probably a diamond rod. I don't do stones too much, just because I suck at them. I can't do a really good edge with a stone, so I don't mess around with them. Now you might want to put something else in there, but to me it's just an unneeded gimmick to have that pocket on the front of the sheath. So let's look at the knife. Rat 7 again. Man, what a nice knife blade that is. I really like the design of it. Nice sweep and belly on it. Again, I've had this one sharpened. I don't like the edge as it came. It was very inadequate in my opinion. So I had the angle set, I don't know, 22, 23 degrees, something like that. And it's nice and sharp as it comes. I did have a piece of paper here somewhere. Here's one. Let's see how this edge looks. Yeah, it's pretty sharp right now. Again, I know it's a survival knife, and it doesn't have to be shaving sharp, but I like all my knives shaving sharp. And again, I don't think we lose a lot of versatility and utility with this type of knife in the woods, even though we maybe have that shallower angle set. So don't kid yourself, I've used them a lot. They're still very functional. So the blade shape is excellent. It's a modified Bowie knife. One hit I'll give it is the thickness of the blade, and I'm going to bring the Recon Scout out here, of which I have a couple videos out there, and I'll show you. The Recon Scout is probably one of the best wood splitting knives I've ever used. The reason is it has that incredibly thick spine on it that acts as a chisel. If we hold up the Rat 7 next to the Recon Scout, we can see that it is indeed narrower. It's not the 5/16 thickness that Recon is. It's probably about a 1/4 inch, I guess. So this will work adequately. This works most excellently for wood splitting. Little hit on that, but still the upside on that, it's going to be a lighter weight blade, easier to carry, generally speaking, than maybe the Recon, even though the weight's very similar. The weight on the Rat 7s, including the sheath, is 18.7, 18.8 ounces, and the Recon Scout is actually a little bit more with that thicker blade. It's almost 20 ounces, so slightly light. Anyways, back to the blade. Really nice up sweep. There's no attempt to bevel or to sharpen the top edge, as they intend this mostly as a survival knife, not so much a combat knife, and in that function I think it worked quite well. Emblazoned with the Rat 7 logo here. This one was made in conjunction with Ontario. It's a full hilt design going all the way back. Has a poundable pommel if you need it. Be careful, I've used these before and got my fat from my hand stuck there and really smacked myself hard. I recommend gloves every time we work with survival knives, every single time. So you'll always see me with gloves in the backcountry with my survival knives, just for protection. Even still, I've still cut myself. Might make a video on that too later. I love the handle on the Rat 7. It's a micarta slabs, and actually they're olive drab. Nicely done, nicely profiled. I think I had a Terzola by Camelus a while back, and it had micarta handles, and I did not like them because they're very sharp on the edge. So when you grasp the knife, it was uncomfortable. You don't have that problem at all with a Rat 7. It is very comfortable. You have a finger index choil right here for locking the knife in. You have some useful jimping on the top. I talk a lot about that. So overall, a very nice handle. Much more durable than a lot of the cold steel offerings, I would say. And I love micarta. So great balance, great blade shape, okay sheath, and great handle materials. 1095, this particular one is excellent. I've had a lot of good experience with it. Easy to sharpen. Just keep it oiled up nice. This is my other Rat 7. This one is in D2. Also a beautiful blade. Same exact blade, just in D2. Also sharpened to be razor sharp. I haven't really hard tested D2 yet. I will in the future. I suspect you got to be a little bit more gentle with it for batoning. It is a much more brittle tool steel. So in summary, these Rat 7s are excellent knives for the money. This one just over $100, this one just under $100. You can't go wrong. Nothing fancy.